I have a complicated relationship with Mugwort. It's the first plant I think I ever really had a relationship with, that it taught me how to have a relationship with a plant. And that's really what I was looking for. And I am really grateful to it for that. I read Braiding Sweetgrass the first time, and I never thought the world was so beautiful. That you could love the world, and that the world could love you. And that thought, it was lonely. So, Braiding Sweetgrass introduces the concept of the honorable harvest, which is basically the idea that plants can give themselves to you if you can listen and you can ask permission, which was really challenging to me, both in the scientific, that's way too woo-woo kind of way, and in the how could something give up a part of its body? How could it love what it's giving itself up to enough? But I wanted to try, so I went out looking, and I tried to ask for permission. Sometimes I took stuff, with a quick kind of please, or I would try to think about what I could give back. You're supposed to figure out what you can give back, and you're supposed to learn about your neighbor. I felt pained. I felt there was no possible way that this plant could be saying yes to me, but I still really, really wanted to interact with the plant, to just something, to feel that I was entering into the community, and I didn't know how to see or focus. I'm so hungry for something, to be able to take something home with me, that I was a part of this land, to make myself at home. Is what I thought, to earn my place. And then there was this plant, this little light green, sweet smelling plant. I knew that it was invasive, and I thought, okay, if I fuck up, if I don't ask for permission, at least I won't be fucking up big time. I won't be destroying what's already the legacies I'm in. I've destroyed so much already. I know how to take a plant until it's gone, and this plant needs to be taken. We're a good match. So, for many days, I would walk out of my house and I would pull mugwort. I knew I didn't know enough to know whether or not this was helpful or not. That I hadn't observed. Maybe the mugwort did something important. And how could I place my vision of what this land should be? I learned that mugwort spreads by rhizome. That if you want to get rid of it, you have to pull it out by the root. That it stores sugars underground. And that even if you mow it again and again and again, it might still come back. That it sends off shoots. And it spreads creeping. So I would try to get the rhizome out. Only so successful. But it felt good. I would pull and leaves would snap off, and I would pull and I'd see a giant clump of dirt come out. I'd pull and I'd see another. And I did that for what felt like hours, but it probably was only like half an hour because I'd not done any kind of physical labor before. Yeah, that's something that I really needed. Of thinking I should stop and then seeing another plant and pulling it again, seeing another plant and pulling it again. And I did feel something else open in me. I'm not sure what that sadness was. Loneliness. Being out of place. Being powerless. Just for everything that's happened on this land. And I knew I couldn't pull my way out of what had happened. I kept doing it. I learned it was one of the many herbs that Europeans brought over as a part of their remaking the land familiar so they could have their herbal medicine within what they knew instead of having to learn that something had already existed here before. And that changed a lot. Mugwort has had community too. It was hard for me to accept that. It was this powerful, overwhelming thing. You see an entire hillside covered in it. To know that there's these sneaking rhizomes underneath the soil that if you were to pull up, that would be the entire hillside. But it made me see that maybe that's what Mugwort was trying to teach me. It's possible to be this overwhelming force, violent pursuit of life that is lonely. It knows how to live balanced somewhere else, but it's here now. And it has to learn how to live in community. And I want to do that with it. I hope we can learn from each other and transform each other in the process.